Hi everybody, I thought I would show you a quick, easy, fun, slightly addictive craft project that's great for winter and a great way to reuse, guess what? Old socks. What? Yes, you can make unwanted socks into a lovely rag rug, seat cushion, any kind of a rug like that. So check this out. All you need is some unwanted lonely socks, some thread, needle, scissors, and you're ready to go. So, lonely socks. It's happened to all of us, right? Am I right? So, basically, here's my big lonely sock basket. There's a lot in here. So I'm just going to pick out ones that I want that are going to match the color scheme I have going on here. You can do completely random colors. That's completely fine. It's up to you. I'm just doing kind of a tan, red, black sort of vibe. So I'm going to look for other ones that match those colors and ones that I know I do not have another one of, which that one is suspect. So I'm going to go ahead and use this guy. Pull the sock out of your bin and then just start cutting it in a spiral. And you're going to eyeball it so that it's about, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, something like that, and just start cutting it in a spiral. All the way down. Start at the top and just start cutting all the way down. When you get to the heel, you can kind of cut into the heel so it's a little bit blobby there. You're never going to see the thickness difference once you start braiding this because it's very stretchy. And that's the great thing about using these up and using these in a rag rug is that there's a lot of give and it's soft and fuzzy and comfy and stretchy and it just feels good under your feet on the floor. I just, the toe has got usually a seam here that's not very appealing and it's kind of a lump, so I often will just kind of snip off that toe. That's all you're throwing away, that tiny, tiny bit. Much better, right? Much less waste. So when you stretch it, you're going to get, instead of this bright stripey, the inside's what's going to probably show up here. Now, I've already started this. So here's the center. I tied 3 strands in a knot together at the ends. So as if I'm doing it here, just take 3 strands, tie them together in a knot, and then start that knot and use that knot to start making your spiral. And that's what I've done here. Here's the center knot. You can't tell, right? You can't even tell it's a knot. And then just start, as you braid, you stitch and braid, braid and stitch. You can braid the whole thing if you want to. I kind of braid as I go because I'm not sure how big I want to make this or what colors I'm going to use until I'm doing it. And then just get needle and thread and just start stitching it together. I'm coming up on the braid itself that I'm attaching and going down on the main thing. The other thing to remember with this too is you don't want to pull this too tight or it will start to dish and not lay flat. So you want to check that. You want to check that you're not stitching this super tight and making yourself a basket, which is also something you can do. But if you're making a rug, you don't want a basket shaped rug. You want a rug. So make sure this is laying flat and don't stitch it so that where it puckers and cups like that. That's really the only trick. To add a new piece, to splice in a new piece at the end. Like here's my strands, right? They do get kind of tangly because some of these strands, if you have a really long, like a knee sock, it can be like 8 feet long and it's very stretchy and they kind of go, But to splice in a new one, I literally just lay the new one on top of the old one and then braid that together as I'm working a little bit and it just stays in place. And then as you're stitching it, of course, it will become stitched in part. So it won't come loose like that. So like here's a splice that I did, this red ribbed one over the other red. I just joined a red to a red, so you can't really see the color difference happening here, but you can see that I just laid them on top of each other, braided it until, the red just sort of continued, and it works just fine. Here's another splice. This one I left the tail up on just because it was so thin. So you can weave that in like that. until it's invisible. You can cut it off, whatever aesthetically you like. That is completely fine. Whatever you think looks best is great. If you want to be super extra and not use a needle and thread, oh no, then you can actually just, as you're going, as you're braiding, let me find the end of this, you can, as you're braiding these together, you can slip the braid through the previous row and continue braiding, and just every time you encounter a loop like this, loop the strand you're braiding through there to connect it to itself as you're going around without any sewing with needle and thread. I think that doesn't give as nice of a distinctive braid pattern as you get when you lay this all flat and again, it's an aesthetic thing, right? It's your traditional braid rag rug with a twist. It's a little bit messier looking than a super neat colonial braid, but you'll get less of that distinctive braid look if you do the through the loop method as you're braiding, and it can kind of pull and distort a little bit, but if you're careful, it does work actually. So that's an alternate method you can use. That is another way to do it. And of course, as long as we're talking about upcycling things, who doesn't like these great clear bags that are from like sheet sets? And did you know there's a pocket in here that holds this paper? Turn the paper over and you can put it right back in there with what this is. Rag, rug, socks. Check it out. How convenient is that? Boom. And now everybody knows what it is. You can see what's inside it. It zippers shut to keep pests and dust out. How great is that? So there's 2 tips. Yay, 2 tips in 1 video. So I hope that was useful to you. I hope you have fun making that. And again, it's kind of addictive. Once you get going, it's like a great thing to do in front of TV or something. So, so that's a fun project. So again, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when I post another video, and I will see you soon on another exciting episode of Willow's Vintage Homestead, and I hope to have another one up pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. I've been super busy with filming other video projects and the holidays and general craziness, but I do have a few more planned for you coming up shortly. So I'm going to kind of vary between inside and outside projects also. We'll both find out what that will be next time. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye.